And we are back with
Hey,
OCD Mikey, a personality that I am sure you are very familiar with now in the audio industry. He has a channel, um, OCD Hi-Fi on YouTube.
yeah,
So if
OCD
you
Hi-Fi guy.
OCD Hi-Fi guy on YouTube, if you
Yep.
care to see his channel and follow him, please look him up on YouTube
Thanks,
and
Jay.
see what his whole entire take on the audio industry is about, because he's never shying away from his opinion. Ultimately is one man's opinion, and we're all entitled to our own. Okay, so thank you, Mikey, for being here with me today.
Thanks for having me, Jay.
Appreciate the time. People love to see us on camera. They want to see us talk about anything audio related, because let's keep it
They
real.
want to see us fight, man.
You and I are like yin and
Yeah,
yang, right? We're
yeah,
so opposite, yet we have one thing in common, which is we love this hobby. We love audio,
yeah.
and so it's very entertaining for the masses to see
Sure.
how we do things. I see a lot of my followers actually sometimes ask questions on your live stream and vice versa. So I know we have a lot of common followers that watch both,
Sure. Yeah.
which we're
Yep.
so different, all right?
Yep.
But the reason why I thought it was important to have Mikey here on today's video is because, number one, he has been doing this way longer than I have. How far back do you go, Mikey? When did you start this audio?
2020. I'm sorry, 2001.
So
So
easily over
since
two.
since 2001, this has been my only source of income.
Okay.
It's
So
a
this is your
career.
livelihood, over 2 decades worth of experience,
Yeah.
clearly more experience than I have. And you have seen it all. You've seen everything.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And so this is why I think it is important that I get your take and that my viewers get your take on, this entire situation that I've been going through. In case you are wondering what am I talking about, please refer to my last video where I explain basically the fact that I got scammed $30,000 by a home audio dealer. Home audio dealer. Okay. And I know many of you have been asking for me to basically call him out in front of everyone and throw him in the middle, dead center, and essentially expose who he is, right? And I said to you all, not yet, because I feel like I have to follow, what my lawyers are telling me. Okay, so
Protocol.
this needs to be structured. It needs to be done properly, and I don't want to jump the gun, because all it does is hurt me more, right? And
Yeah.
so I gotta wait, and I also want to give you guys an update right now while I'm talking about this situation. So basically, right now, what's happened is my lawyers have officially sent a letter to this home audio dealer and in his home state, and basically it's requesting the money that I paid him, and he has I believe 10 days to respond to this. If I don't get a phone call, if I don't get any sort of like, hey, let's connect on this, let's figure out a resolution or an intent to pay me back, and then step two comes in, which begins to get a lot more complicated for him. And that's as far as I'm going to go with this. Okay. But while I'm talking about this, I want to make sure that anybody who's watching us right now, and any brand or any sales rep within the industry understands the following. To do this to an influencer is probably one of the worst things you can do. If you were to ever do this, which I completely disagree and I'm very much against, I don't think a YouTuber is the right person to do this to.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
remember,
Somebody with 20,000 followers. Come on.
I am nearly 30,000 subscribers at the moment. And
Correction. I forgot. That's right. Yeah.
that means if I say your name, it's not going to look good for your business. It's going to be very bad for your business. It cannot be good for business. And so that is one of the things that I feel this person miscalculated. But I must say that I want to believe that this was simply a rough patch for him. We've never had any issues in the past. And I truly want to believe that he's going to come back and say, I'm going to tell you the truth, man. This is exactly what happened in my life. And I feel bad about what I have done. I want to figure out a way to make this right to you and put it behind us. I'm hoping that is the phone call that follows after my lawyers begin to intercept and get in the middle between both of us. Okay, I'm hoping that that's what happens, but in the event that it doesn't go that way and he thinks he's going to get away with it by simply not responding, then unfortunately I'm going to have to escalate things and make it a lot more uncomfortable for him. I hate to do this, Mike. I hate to put people's business front and center, but I also feel like, it has to be done. And this is the purpose of today's video, which is for you to tell us. And I know you were very vocal about this behind closed doors with me, as far as your sentiments when it comes to small dealers in the audio industry, dealers that are doing certainly things that are very unethical, right? That shouldn't be done. And so tell us from your experience, Mike, share with my audience your sentiments when it comes to these dealers that are doing this to customers. What do you know? Give us some insights.
Okay, sure. So, as Jay said, hi crew, by the way, what's up to Jay's crew? Good to see you guys. Come visit me anytime at OCD Hi-Fi Guy on YouTube. It's just OCD Hi-Fi Guy. I've been doing this a long time, and I think more than anything, Jay, what's the important thing to point out is not that the dealer is small, it's that the dealer does not have integrity. Okay. So they're like, we could look at myself. I operate from home. I don't have a brick and mortar, right? People send me checks for $150,000 and I could just stiff them. I could just not give them anything. I could change my business. Like you said, claim bankruptcy, all this bullshit. But, there's got to be integrity. And some people, like you mentioned, maybe don't know how to manage their money. Maybe they've got drug addictions. Maybe they are leveraged and they just run this high lifestyle that they can't afford because they want to be posers or whatever. Everybody's different. But the bottom line is to know who you're buying from. Okay. Now, I think a lot of times the problems that happen from this, where a lot of this stems, is people trying to hustle, customers trying to get 40% off or some ridiculous discount, people trying to whore stuff out the back door, and just this illegitimate type operations that people do. And I think it's almost like goes with the territory, there are people, there's the people in the business that have integrity, that do good business. And then there's those guys, right? The other guys that just don't have integrity, won't tell the truth. They put 100 different products on their website, and they operate out of home, and they make it look like they're a big dealer, right? And then they go on the AudioGone forums and they type every day and they do all this stuff, making it seem like they're this big dealer when they're just some jamoke who's just trying to, like you said, make money on the side. It's not even maybe their career. So doing your background. Jay mentioned one thing. I think we talked about this before you started the video. Look on the manufacturer's website. If you want to buy Griffin, buy it from a Griffin dealer. Okay. If somebody is selling Griffin and they say they're a dealer and they're not on the Griffin website, and you want to be sure, call Griffin. Make sure that they're a Griffin salesperson. Make sure that they're legit, because otherwise the product is most likely illegit. The product's illegit, then there could be problems with warranty. There could be problems with, you don't know if it's been repaired or how many times it's been repaired. There's a bunch of BS that goes along with this. People just sell a bunch of stuff, right? So know who you're buying from, and know that they have integrity. You can do a simple Google search and see, because typically if people screw people over, they talk about it in the forums. There's some history of it. Now, sometimes people can clear that up, but I absolutely have no respect. My heart and soul is in this. I think Jay's heart and soul is in this. I stake my reputation, my livelihood on this. I have reserves of cash for returns. Even though I'm a small home-based guy, I don't drive a Porsche. I don't have $100,000 watch on. I'm not trying to live in Newport Beach and pay really high rent and be a player or whatever. I live in conservative fashion. I drive a Volvo, and I save my freaking money. Why? So if some shit happens, let's say I send my money to my vendor doesn't send me something and I'm stuck with my pants down, I can still pay my customer back. And then I have to take it on the brunt of my shoulders. That's my risk of doing business. That's how people with integrity do business.
It's very interesting what you just said, because I alluded to this. There are many small time dealers. And again, I want to make sure that I'm not hurting the small dealers that are very legit. Small dealers, what I mean by that are dealers that this is side money for them, hustle money. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They
so
don't really
pseudo, you
pay,
could call them
they
pseudo
don't pay
dealers. They're not
bills.
really dealers. They're like pseudo dealers.
They're not, and I don't want to put this person front and center either. Many of these dudes are doing hustles such as, I'm going to make a group purchase of the MSB Cascade DAC or the Griffin Antillean Evo, and I'm going to give it to you for only 5% above cost. So there's a group of people buying that. Do
Where's
you
my
really
red
think,
flag? Where's my
do
red
you
flag?
really
Like,
think
that's so obvious.
brands, do you
Yeah,
really think brands would allow that? Group purchases. What
yeah,
do you think this is? Walmart?
yeah, yeah.
This is one big thing that I would tell you right now. If you're hearing these rumors about, I'm going to make, we're just gathering a bunch of people, you want to throw your money in the pot, that might be your money and a lot of other people that are about to get scammed. And I have
Yeah, that's
seen
true.
this 3 times. Okay, so that's one example of big things that you have to be on the
Yeah,
lookout for.
yeah.
So going back to the small
Oh,
dealers, yeah, go ahead.
super quick. I was going to say on that note, Jay, what he's saying in a nutshell is a deal that's too good to be true is exactly that. It's fucking too good to be true. Okay,
Yes.
excuse my language, but it's
No.
too good to be true. Do not trust the deals that are too good to be true. You will end up getting a piece of gear that has been repaired twice. You don't know who's repaired. I mean, you have no idea what's happened to these things before you get them. I mean, it could be anything. Maybe you don't even get a piece of gear. Go on. Sorry.
So what I was saying is, when it comes to small dealers, I want to make sure that I don't destroy all ethical, honorable small dealers,
Well,
because there
yeah,
are many of them out there.
it's not about the size. It's about the
No,
integrity. Yeah.
the integrity. Some of these small dealers are actually at shows. They show their
Yeah.
face. They're very vocal. They're active.
Yeah.
They may go to a show just to blend with us and talk to us and present their operation. Okay. These are dealers. I'm talking about the dudes that are never at a show.
Yeah.
Okay. That don't want to spend any money when it comes to their operation. And all they're doing is picking up the phone and taking orders, right? They
Yeah.
have zero experience with what they're selling you, which is a big indicator. I know a lot of small places, dealers that will sell you really expensive stuff, and they don't even have anything remotely close to what they're selling you. They probably have never even seen the product you're trying to sell you. And
It
these are
could
the
be.
dealers that you
Yeah.
have to be careful with. If you feel that you want to still roll the dice, I recommend at least a couple of steps that you need to take. Step number one is go to the dealer's website. Okay. Check out their website. Do you see any brands of the caliber that you are trying to buy? For example, let's say you're looking at a CH position. Do you see another brand of that level that they represent? Are there pictures of the product in their showroom? Okay. Chances are, if there are nobody, there's nowhere, they don't have any pictures. Okay. The website looks suspect. You're not going to see any sort of
Yeah. It's like
equipment that is,
stock photos from the
they're going to,
manufacturer's website.
you're going to see typically when you have, there's different levels, right, of this hobby. So if you're looking for an ultra high end brand, more than likely that dealer is going to carry other brands that are at that same level, right? You're going to see, if you have MSB, you may see DCS, if you see Magical, you might see Wilson. So it's a conjunction of these brands that they typically have, because oftentimes, right, let's face it, these expensive brands are sold with expensive electronics, right? So
Yeah.
that's one thing. Second step, Mike, and I think you alluded to this, is you got to go to the manufacturer's website and do the second check, which is, are they listed as a dealer for this brand? If they're not listed, it does not mean that they're not a dealer,
That's
because
true.
unfortunately, and I have to make sure that I put these manufacturers on blast. Manufacturers do a horrible job at
Yeah.
keeping
They're
up
they're
with their
slow.
dealerships.
They're slow at keeping that page,
Yes.
up to date. Yeah.
So what happens is, when they open up a new dealer, right? It may be a month, it may be 2 months, it may be 3 months, and that dealer, although they might be a legit dealer, they're still not showing up on their dealer list, and that's a problem, right? That's a
Yeah.
problem because it hurts actually that dealer that should be on your page, manufacturers. It
Yeah.
hurts them when it comes to sales. So
Sure.
manufacturers also need to do that part. But in the event that you haven't located that dealer on the manufacturer's website, then you pick up the phone, like my OCD Mikey said, and call them. Is this dealer a dealer of yours? If
Yeah.
the answer is no, I will say to you, you need to run as fast as your legs will allow you to. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, there are some situations, Mike, that I think we can definitely highlight in which it could be a good deal, and it probably is. And it might be something along the lines of, for example, Mikey right now, I don't know, he's blowing out, let's say, a DAC that he just has no use for it. And it's a hell of a deal. I know you're always, giving your tribe great deals on certain products, right? That can go to
Well,
a better home. Well, maybe in that event, right? If you don't have any experience with Mikey, and let's say you felt uneasy, which you have no reason to feel that way, you can drive up. You meet with him, you do the transaction in person, you pay him on the spot, you collect the product and go home.
yep.
Right? That's an
You could
option.
you can see me at the show, Capital Audio
Right.
Fest. I'll be exhibiting there,
Right.
and all that kind of stuff. But I think Jay, another thing that is a good point that you're maybe touching on here with what we're talking about is there can be legit sales for people that are not dealers for a brand when it's a dealer trade-in. Okay, so in the case the dealer takes a trade in, let's say he's a Griffin dealer, but somebody trades in their Boulder
Yep.
because they want to buy a Griffin. So now this guy who's not a Boulder dealer is selling a Boulder, but he is very much a legit dealer. So you
Yeah,
have to
that's
look
very
and
true.
do a little homework on who you're buying
Yes.
from. Just
Yes.
Google them, man. I mean, there's tons of history. You Google Mike Powell, Virastar, which is my cable company. Shit, you'll see a history of me going back 20 years. And there's nothing bad. There's nobody saying, oh, this jackass ripped me off or whatever. So do your homework and find out, because there are situations where a non-dealer may be selling something and it may still be legit because it's a
Another
trade.
thing you Another thing they can do to protect themselves, Mikey, is credit cards. Yes,
Yep.
I gotta be honest. You gotta eat as a customer. You got to eat the 3% fee. Okay, you have to, because if the dealer's already giving you a deal, right? Oftentimes, I would say the dealer is going to say, "I'll take the credit card, but you pay 3%." As a matter of fact, I've seen it now at restaurants in here in Miami, Florida, where they're telling you, "We do take credit cards, but you pay 3%." I've seen
Uh,
that now.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
getting that crazy. So
yeah.
it's not abnormal. It's not out of the question, by the way, to see that if you want to pay with a credit card, you have to pay the 3%.